So I feel like a teacher, because they all sat at the table and said, do we really have to come up here? Yes. So we worked together, so I'll let everybody introduce themselves. I already did the introduction thing, so I'm just going to pass it along.
I'm Lisa Torok from the Nursing Department. Christy Petroze in the Education Department.
Becky Tacy, Nursing Department.
Christine Griffiths, Sports Sciences.
Please note they're making me talk through this. Okay. So our college mission we established last year as a group. The entire faculty and staff voted on this mission. The mission of the College of Education and Health Sciences is to prepare education and health professionals by providing the knowledge, skills, and values to meet the diverse needs of the communities our graduates serve. So we decided that part of our job was to help prepare our students for those diverse communities that they're going to be serving. And we didn't have a way to do that yet. So our grant was looking at a way to bring issues of diversity to our students. So we decided to create a college-wide curriculum for the nursing, exercise science, and education majors that will address the needs of the communities that they're going to serve. So while we do have some diverse students, many of the students in our programs are white and from northern Kentucky. And they are not serving populations that look like them. And so there is something that needs to be done in terms of their training, whether they are teachers in a classroom full of second language speakers, they are nurses working in areas of high poverty, or athletic trainers who are dealing with a whole slew of communities, whether they are, I think Christine has a great story about a student who went to a school and had to deal with a shooting victim on campus as the athletic trainer, right? So there are a lot of things that our students need to know that perhaps 10 years ago we didn't think about. So that was our purpose of this grant. So internally, what we are doing is creating this 4 sequence of courses around cultural diversity. Culture being the large word, not the small word. So we are looking at race, we are looking at gender, we are looking at sexuality, we are looking at class, we are looking at all of these different ways to address this. Externally, we are already doing a lot of work externally, but our goal with this grant was to think about the ways in which we could actually embed in some of those communities explicitly and intentionally. So our accrediting bodies already require us to do a lot of this work, and so we're doing it in small scale. Our goal was to do it as a whole group, large scale. So our objectives were to develop the college-wide culturally responsive curriculum, align and develop that social justice-oriented outcomes, sequences, syllabi, and curriculum map, and also to develop an initial assessment criteria for both community stakeholders, students, and our college. So here's our curriculum revision work that we did. So Teaching Tolerance is an organization that works on this with K-12 school systems, that works on issues of culturally responsive teaching. And we took their social justice standards, of which there are 20, and we boiled them down into 4 major areas. 1, identity, and our outcome is students will analyze the ways in which identity, our identities, informs people's lived experiences. Diversity is number 2. Students will demonstrate respect and understanding around issues of diversity. 3 is justice. Students will analyze the ways in which power and privilege affect justice. And then 4 is action. Students will evaluate how and when to take action against injustice. Because it can be difficult in our graduates' positions to know when to step in, when to say something. It's a little bit like that bystander effect training that we do for our students. They need to know how to do this in high pressure situations. And so that is part of the curriculum as well. So our curriculum revisions include an enhanced core proposal for our students, and courses, I think right now it's CEHS, but I know Michelle wouldn't like that because it's 4 letters instead of 3. So we're going to have to come up with a 3-letter, probably EHS. And we're looking to possibly create it as a social science requirement. One of the other things that we are doing is looking at a way to enhance the core for our college in a way that allows our students to get minors. So one of the things that we would like to see for our nursing students, for our education students, for our athletic training or exercise science students, is for them to be able to minor in Spanish. They should be able to speak to the people that they are working with. And so we are looking at ways in which we can enhance that. Our education majors, we would love to have them minor in English or in math so that they are better prepared, particularly our elementary teachers who don't have the room at the moment. So again, we are working on that enhanced core at the moment. The 4 courses that we are developing are an actual blend of the code of ethics that guide each of our departments. So like I said earlier, we are all under different accreditation bodies that give us very specific requirements. And so I think we did a really good job of looking at those requirements and looking at the standards that we're required to meet. So for example, education has 10 standards that we're required to meet. Diversity is in each of those standards. Nursing has a number of standards, but they also have a culturally responsive set of 12 standards that they're supposed to be addressing. Athletic training's new standards specifically address both interdepartmental education and diversity. So what we did this summer was work on a curriculum map with the enhanced core. We developed a number of syllabi and college-wide assessment tools. So we were really doing the Kelly paperwork. So we were doing the Kelly paperwork this summer. We did a lot of it. So this is what I do want to talk about the college-wide assessment tools. We are going to pilot this year in the nursing department a tool that has already been developed, and we are going to be using the funding to pay for it because it is an expensive tool. But we thought we would start there, see what we liked and didn't like about the tool, because each of our areas has different expectations for what diversity looks like within their accrediting bodies. So we are going to start as a pilot with the nursing students and that test. Assessment, evaluation, it's not really a test, that was a bad word. And part 2 is we are going to move this out into the community. Like I said, we're already out in the community, but what we want to do is intentionally place our students with groups who we know need help. So one of the places that we are looking at is actually at Turfway, the racing center, because there's a large Latina population in that area who are not being engaged in the community because they don't have the means to do so. And there are athletic training opportunities for connections, nursing opportunities for connections, and education opportunities for connections. Some of those students aren't going to school. So there are definitely ways for us to engage in that community. But what we would like to do first is a community-based assessment to see what the needs of the community are. So in addition to the paperwork we were doing, we also were trying to determine what a community needs assessment would look like that included all 3 of our areas. And that